Welcome back to our view of healthy workplaces, and our look today is going to be kind of a difficult subject to talk about. It's ethical congruence. Now, this doesn't really, interestingly enough, it doesn't really have much to do with ethics, and it doesn't certainly have anything to do with morality. But ethical congruence is wrapped around the concept of consistency and fairness. Meaning that one set of standards and one set of rules that apply to team members need to apply uniformly. We have seen time and time again in our experience, in our practice, that when there's disparate treatment, when there's one set of rules that pertains to one team member or population of team members and another entirely different set of rules for them, that'll have a devastating effect on morale. So let's talk about a couple of examples for a minute. And literally these are, painfully common examples. And we'll talk then at the end about what the answer and how we cure this. So the common examples is, you have as most companies do, a harassment and a hostile working environment policy. And that policy has been there for years. It's required by law. It's certainly something that's necessary. But yet somebody, high-performing salesperson, that's a great example. High-performing salesperson is, caught, is noted as creating a hostile working environment, sexually harassing somebody. But because of the volume of new business that he or she brings into the organization, a blind eye is turned to that individual, while somebody else in a job that does not produce as much commits the same type of offense or is documented for the same thing, they're summarily removed from the organization. That is a classic example of ethical non-congruence. In a perfect world, what would happen is that person who's the high-producing salesperson would be treated the exact same way as the individual that doesn't have that large book of business that they bring to the table. Another common one that we see quite a bit is a nepotism policy. The policies against hiring or directly supervising and managing your relatives. Common practice and also a part of a healthy workplace. But, you have one individual who has a good skill set that you believe maybe has some potential, and we make an exception for that individual, that person's mom or whatever it is, and we bring them into the organization, while someone else, we don't allow that to occur. And again, the answer here is not about being moralistic, or it's not really about ethics. It's about the consistency in how we look at that and how we treat that. So that leads us really then into kind of the easy answer with a really hard twist. The easy answer to achieve ethical congruence, which is necessary for a truly healthy workplace, is that consistency must be king. So whether I'm firing my mom or whether I am disciplining the highest producing salesperson in the organization, it doesn't matter. Because what matters is you're enforcing and taking care of those things exactly, equally, and exactly on par. Now here's the hard part. The hard part is this takes a tremendous amount of senior leadership resolve, and the first time that you sign off or initial off on an exception is the day that you've completely invalidated the ethical congruence. Because if you're going to be truly ethically congruent, there can be no exceptions. Everything has to be administered and enforced exactly equally, regardless of story, regardless of heredity. And that's where it becomes tough. And again, senior leaders, the owners, the directors, the C-suite leadership team have got to be the champions and the leaders of that to pull that off successfully. I know today was a little bit of a difficult subject. We'll get back to something that's a little bit more warm when we talk about people-centered leadership the next time we're together. Hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you soon.